stresses. So till now we have studied the direct stresses, which are till now we have studied the direct stresses, which are either normal or shear stress, okay, or pure shear. But in most of the cases, these stresses will act in combination. That means there will be normal stress also, there will be shear stress also. So we have to find the resultant stress which is acting at a point. Resultant stress. So we have also discussed what is a plane stress element. So this is a stress element. In the first lecture I have told you, suppose that tensile stress is acting. So this is a uniaxial stress element having the stress in the one direction. Okay, so it is uniaxial. Stress, uniaxial stress element. Okay. Now if I have a stress element like this, so it is having the stress in direction x, that is sigma x, and stress in direction y, that is sigma y. So it is a biaxial biaxial stress element. So if it is a so this is a stress element, and we have in x direction, we have in y direction, and we also have a shear stress acting like this, complementary shear stress. Then this is a combined state of stress. Okay, combined state, because you have the normal stresses and you have the shear stresses also. So this we will be discussing. So now we know that at any point of time we can uh, divide a stress into two components. Suppose this is a tangential component and this is a normal component. So if we add them vectorially, so this will be the resultant stress. So you can say sigma r is the resultant stress at any point. Sigma n is a normal component of the stress. Normal component, and this is a shear component. Now, what will be the resultant from this vectorially if we add them? It will be the sigma n square plus sigma tau square. So this you can see. So this is a very important formula, that is at any point in a body the stress is a combination of normal component and the tangential component. If this makes resultant makes an angle I with the normal component, then from here we can write tangent of phi is equal to tangent of phi is equal to tau upon sigma n. So therefore phi will be equal to tangent inverse tau upon sigma n. Right? So this is another. So this will give us the magnitude, this will give us the direction. So sometimes tau shear component this is also denoted as sigma tau. Okay. So this tau, this shows that it is a tangential component. Tangential shear component or tangential component. तो क्लियर है यहाँ तक? आगे
Yes,
चलें?
sir.
Okay. Now we will define the concept of shear stress and complementary shear stress. So shear stress and complementary shear stress. What is this? For understanding this, let me take a stress element. Say this is x direction and this is y direction. Okay. So now this stress element is A, B, C, and D. So a stress element A, B, C, D. Right? So this AB will be equal to say dx because it is in the x direction, and BC will be equal to dy. So this AB is equal to DC and BC is equal to this BC is equal to AD. Right? So now a shear component of the stress is acting like this. So if it is in on this plane, it is in the clockwise direction. In this case, it will be in the anti-clockwise direction. Okay. And here also, it will be in the opposite direction. So here, because it is from x direction, so we will say from x to y. Right? So this will be in magnitude should be equal to same, but the direction is same, opposite. Now this will be from y to x. So we will say tau y to x and tau y to x. You got it? So this is a stress element. So if this thickness of this stress element is 1, or let me draw it again so that the things are clear to you. Suppose this stress element is having a thickness which is equal to 1. So this is having 1. So this side is also 1, this side is also 1, this side is also 1. So this will be the stress. If it is multiplied by area, so what it will give? It will give the force. ठीक है ना? So force on, so if we take the moment of all this force, take moment ठीक है, about A. So T, that is tau into xy, this is a stress multiplied by, it is acting on this. Okay, so it is how much? It is dy. So dy into 1 will be the area. Dy into 1 will be the area, because this is dy and 1 is this. 1 is this. So this becomes the area. This should be, and if we take, this is a force. So if we take the moment about this, so this is this multiplied by dx. Isn't it? This multiplied by dx. So this is a moment and it is a clockwise direction. Okay? So this should be equal to the tau yx multiplied by the area will be how much? Dx into 1 multiplied by the distance from the A. So distance from the A is dy. Okay? So this will be cancelled. So therefore tau xy is equal to tau yx. So one is this is a shear stress and this is a complementary shear stress. So as you see, they are equal in magnitude, but they are opposite in direction. This makes a couple which is anti-clockwise and this makes a couple clockwise. So that means wherever a stress will be acting, shear stress will be acting, there will be a complementary shear stress. Did you get the point? समझ में आया complementary shear stress और stress?
Yes, sir.
There is one more term which is being used, that is the pure shear or pure shear stress. Pure shear stress. It is that state where only the shear stress is acting, no other normal component. So this is a state where the pure shear is acting. Only that type of stress which is acting is the shear stress. Okay. So now we will study now at a point to determine the stress at a point. Stress at a point in a plane is called plane stress. Okay? The stress which is acting at a point in the plane is called the plane stress. So this plane stress can be unidirectional, uniaxial stress, or I should write here. Uniaxial stress. It will be, second type is biaxial stress. And third is a complex stress or compound stress. Compound complex. Okay, so we can divide this into the three parts. Now there are for two methods for determining for determining the resultant stress. There are two methods of determining the resultant stress. So what are these two methods? These two methods are number one, analytical methods. Analytical methods. And second is graphical method. Graphical. This graphical method is also known as Mohr's method. Okay. So we will determine the spelling you can correct. So first for the uniaxial stress, then the biaxial stress, and then the complex stress. Okay. So one by one we will discuss this. So we will study first the resultant stress at oblique plane or uniaxial. Okay. And so for the uniaxial stress, let us draw. Let us draw let us take a bar which is having a load P in the axial direction. Okay. So let us take a plane which is inclined at an angle theta with the horizontal. Okay. So let me call it as A. Let me call it as B. Let me call it C. Okay. So we have considered a axial load P, right? So to determine stress on plane AC, to determine the resultant stress, here you can write resultant stress. Now we assume that thickness of this plate is 1. Okay. So on this plane there will be two components. One is a normal component and another is a tangential component. So this is a normal component sigma n which we have discussed, and this is the tangential component. and there will be a resultant component sigma r. Okay, so sigma n is a normal component of the stress which is produced, normal component. Sigma t is the tangential component, and sigma r is the resultant component. Resultant stress. Right? Now, on the face AB, on face AB, right? So, on face AB, P is a force. So, what will be the stress? So, stress will be equal to uh, P upon AB into 1, because 1 is the thickness. So, in this will be in the this direction. Okay. समझ में आया नहीं आया ये? So this is a T, this is 1, right? So it is in this direction. So now what I'll do, I will draw the forces along this, AC forces along AB, okay? So in order to draw this, I resolve all the forces, resolving all forces on plane AC, because I have to determine the resultant stress at AC. So this is a horizontal thing. So this is a plane which is along AC. So this angle is theta is given. Okay. So you draw a perpendicular. So this is also theta, and this will be how much? 90 minus theta. So you draw a perpendicular to this plane AC. So this is a plane. Okay. So this will be again perpendicular. So this will be 90 minus theta, and this will be theta. Okay. So now if you go to the previous slide, so along the AC, there will be which force will be there? Along this, it will be the sigma tau, which is a tangential component, into AC into 1. So AC into 1 will be 1. Okay, so I will not be writing 1 now. So it will be sigma t into AC. And in this direction, it will be how much? It will be sigma n into कौन सा प्लेन है ए सी. ठीक है, सिग्मा n into AC into 1, right? And in this direction, which will be the force? It will be sigma, say if it is x because of the axial direction, so it is AB. Okay? So now resolving the forces, say along AC. So in this tree, in this plane, what are the this thing with us? So it is sigma T into AC. And what is the component of this? It will be equal to sigma x AB, and this will be cos 90 minus theta. समझ में आया? ये इस डायरेक्शन में है, तो इस डायरेक्शन में अपोजिट फोर्स इसका ये कंपोनेंट होगा. ठीक है, तो सिग्मा एक्स इंटू ए बी कॉस ऑफ दिस. सो इट इज सिग्मा एक्स into AB. Cos theta is how much? Cos 90 minus theta is sine theta. So sigma tau will be equal to sigma x divided by AB upon AC into sine theta. Now AB upon AC. So this was a triangle with us. This was theta. This was A. This was B. This was C. So AB upon AC is how much? It is cos theta. So you can write sigma x AB upon AC is cos theta. So it will give sine theta cos theta. And this you can write as sigma x upon 2 into 2 sine theta cos theta. So this will be equal to, the tangential component will be equal to 2 sine theta cos theta is sine 2 theta. So it is sigma x upon 2 sine 2. So this is how we can calculate the tangential component. Similarly, if we resolve this force along with this direction in the perpendicular direction, so along AB, so it will give you sigma n AC into 1, sigma n AC into 1. This will give, so in this direction it will be how much? Sigma x cos theta, isn't it? So it will be sigma x cos theta. So sigma x cos theta into AB. So sigma n will be equal to sigma x cos theta AB upon AC. AB upon AC was how much? AB upon AC is cos theta. So this will be equal to sigma x cos theta into cos theta will be cos square theta. So this you can write as sigma x upon 2 into 2 cos square theta, and this you can write as sigma x upon 2 into 1 plus cos 2 theta. So therefore sigma n is equal to sigma x upon 2 into 1 plus cos 2 theta. So this is a formula for the normal component, and here was the formula for the tangential component. So if you find the resultant, so resultant will be equal to under the root of sigma n square plus sigma tau square. So this will give us the resultant, and the direction will be equal to phi is equal to tangent inverse. So this is sigma tau upon. So this way we can find out the resultant stress acting on a plane in the case of a stress which is acting in the uniaxial system. Now, two important inference. Sigma n is equal to, we have considered here, sigma x upon 2 into 1 plus cos 2 theta. Right? So when theta is 0, so this will be cos 0 into cos 0 is 1. So sigma 1 will be equal to sigma x upon 2 into 1 plus 1, that is 2, तो ये 2 से 2 कट जाएगा. So that means when theta is 0, then sigma n will be equal to sigma x. ठीक है. When theta is 90, when theta is 90 degree, so cos 90 is 0. So cos 90 is 0, so it will give you sigma n is equal to sigma x, uh, sigma x, sigma n should be 0. So sorry, cos 90 is not 0, cos 90 is infinity. So it will be something upon 0. So it will be sigma n. Okay. Now when sigma t is how much? Sigma x upon 2, and this we have calculated as sin 2 theta. So when theta is equal to 0, sin 0 is 0, so sigma t is 0. When theta is 90, or 19, sorry, when theta is 45, when 2 theta is 0, 2 theta is 90, so that means theta is 45. So sin 90 is 1, isn't it? Sin 90 is 1. So this will be the maximum value of tau max. That is maximum value is equal to sigma x upon. Okay. So this will be at theta is equal to 45. So I think this is clear to you. Okay. तो टेंजेंट फाई आप निकाल ही सकते हैं इसमें. तो टेंजेंट फाई यू कैन राइट इज इक्वल टू सिग्मा एक्स साइन थीटा cos theta divided by the sigma x cos square theta. सिग्मा एक्स से सिग्मा एक्स कट जाएगा. सो थीटा से एक cos थीटा उठ जाएगा. सो दैट मीन्स द फाई इज इक्वल टू थीटा. So this was a case for the uniaxial stress system. Now we have how to find out the stress on the oblique plane. Stress on inclined plane. Inclined plane. Okay. In biaxial stress system. Okay. So for biaxial, we must draw first the stress element. So let me draw it. Say this is a stress element, and say it is having the stress in the x direction is sigma x, and stress in the y direction is sigma. So there are only normal stresses, so there is no shear. So we call it as a biaxial stress system. Okay? So sigma x is a normal stress. Normal stress in x direction. Sigma y is the normal stress in y direction. Now, we draw a plane, say A, B, D, and D. So we take a plane AC, which is inclined at angle theta. Our objective is to determine resultant stress on plane AC. ठीक है, plane AC which is inclined at theta. सो ये कॉन्फ़िगरेशन किताबों में ऐसा नहीं मिलेगा आपको, ठीक है, तो आपने ऐसे ही याद करना है जैसे मैं बता रहा हूँ, तो यू अंडरस्टैंड इट प्रॉपरली. सो लेट thickness of element is 1. If the thickness of the element is 1, ठीक है. So we have to resolve all the forces. So this is a stress sigma y. यहाँ पे force कितनी होगी? So let us determine first the force. The force on AB. It will be how much? It will be sigma y into AB into 1. So this is sigma y into AB. Force on BC. So it will be sigma x into BC into 1. So it is sigma x into BC. And sigma force on AC, because here I take a normal component, that is sigma n, and here I take a tangential component in this direction, that is sigma t. Okay, so यहाँ पे you can write sigma n is the normal component, normal stress on AC, and sigma t is the shear or tangential stress on AC. So here the force on AC will be equal to sigma n into AC into 1, okay, and this will be equal to sigma n into AC, and the tangential component of the force will be sigma t into AC. So that means there are 4 forces which are acting on this plane. So I will draw the equilibrium. If I take a point on plane AC, the forces acting on a point on AC. Okay, so this is a point. If we say so, along with sigma x direction, so it will be sigma x. If we have calculated sigma x into BC. Right? We are having the plane which is inclined at angle theta. So this is AC. So this side it will be sigma n into AC. And then we are having a perpendicular component to this. This will be sigma n into AC. And we are having in this direction, that is vertical, this is how much? This is sigma y into AB. Sigma y into sigma y into AB. So you can resolve all the angles. So this is 90. You can इसको अपनी कॉपी में ठीक तरह से ड्रा कर लीजिएगा. So this is theta. So this will be 90 minus theta. So this will be again theta. This will be 90 minus theta. Right? And this angle is 90 minus theta. So this angle is. So this is a point O on plane. So forces acting on point say O on AC. Okay. So now resolve all the forces in the normal direction. So resolving along normal direction. So it will be sigma n into AC, sigma n into AC, ठीक है? And this will be how much? Cos theta, sigma n into AC. So you have to resolve all the forces along this. Sigma n into AC, so it is sigma n into AC. This is equal to this is along with this, it is sigma y AB, sigma y AB, and this will be cos theta, sigma y into AB cos theta, plus, and this one, ये force जो है, so it is sigma x into BC, and this will be sin 90 minus theta. Isn't it? So it should be cos theta, sigma y into AB cos theta, sigma y into AB cos theta, and sigma x into BC cos 90 minus theta. ठीक है? So you can write this as sigma n into AC, sigma y into AB cos theta plus sigma x into BC. Cos theta is 90 minus theta is sin theta. So now you can write sigma n, divide this sigma y AB upon AC, and this is cos theta plus sigma x into BC upon AC. Okay. So sigma n, it is equal to AB upon AC. So if you draw this triangle, draw this triangle. Say this is A, this is B, this is C. If you see here, A, B, C. Okay. This triangle, so this angle is theta. So AB upon AC is cos theta. So it will give you sigma y cos square theta plus sigma x BC upon AC. BC upon AC is that is perpendicular upon hypotenuse, that is sin theta. So it gives you sin square. So you can write this as sigma x into sigma, sigma n is there, the normal component. Sigma n is equal to sigma x. So here it was cos square theta. So I can divide it by 2 and I can multiply it by 2, which will give me this identity 1 plus cos 2 theta. Similarly, sigma y upon 2 and 2 sin square theta, this will give me 1 minus cos 2 theta. So if you take the things common, so it will be sigma x plus sigma y by 2 first component plus cos 2 theta is common. So here it will be sigma x, it will be sigma y sin square theta AB upon AC. AB upon AC is cos theta, isn't it? So here I think we have made mistake. BC upon AC, BC upon AC into sin theta. So BC is sin square theta. So we have written, it should be sigma x sin square theta. So here it should be 1 minus. It should be 1 minus. And here it should be plus 1 plus. Okay. So it is sigma x plus sigma y by 2, and here it will be sigma y minus sigma x by 2 into cos 2 theta. So it is a very important equation we have derived. So by this equation we can find out that is the sum of the stresses in the x direction divided by 2 plus the sum of difference of them divided by 2 into cos theta. So let this equation be 1. It is a very important equation, you have to remember. इसको हम आगे यूज करेंगे, ठीक है? Now resolving the forces parallel to parallel to AC. So along AC, you see along this direction, okay? So this is a normal component, this is a T. Okay. So along with this direction, it will be sigma T into AC. Sigma T into AC, this will be equal to sigma t into AC, and this will sigma x के along हो जाएगा. You can add here. It will be plus sigma of x into BC cos theta. Sigma x BC cos theta. Right? And this should be equal to along this direction. So it is sigma y into AB. So this angle is how much? This is 90 minus theta. So it is cos 90 minus theta. Sigma y into AB. Sigma y into AB cos 90 minus. Okay. So this you can take on the other side. So sigma tau into AC is equal to sigma y into AB. Cos 90 minus theta is sin theta minus sigma x into BC cos theta. डिवाइड कर दीजिए इसको with AC. So it will be sigma y upon AB upon AC into sin theta minus sigma x into BC upon AC cos theta. So sigma t, sigma AB upon AC is how much? AB upon AC is cos theta. So it is cos theta. So it is sigma y sin theta into cos theta minus sigma x BC upon AC is sin theta. So it is sin theta. So it is taken as sigma y minus sigma x upon 2. So 2 sin theta into cos theta is how much? It will be 2 sin theta cos theta is equal to sin 2 theta. So this is a tangential component you can find out. This is also a very important equation number 2. Okay. So now for maximum value, say for maximum value theta is equal to 45 or 2 theta is equal to 90. Therefore, theta is equal to 45. Sin 90 is 1. So you will get sigma of tau is equal to sigma y minus sigma x on 2. Or you can also write the shear stress max is equal to sigma y minus sigma x divided by 2. Right? So this way you can find out. So the resultant stress will be equal to sigma r, and that is you can put the value and you can square them and you can add them. So it is sigma tau. Okay. So if you solve this, it will come as sigma x whole square sin square theta, sigma x square sin square theta plus sigma y square cos square theta. So this is the value of sigma r, and you can find out tangent phi. So tangent phi is equal to sigma tau upon sigma r. Okay. So if you divide this, so you can find out the phi max. Phi is equal to tangent inverse, uh, or straight away you can write first by putting the value is equal to sigma y minus sigma x divided by sigma x tangent theta plus sigma y cot theta. Cot theta. So if you want to find out the maximum value for phi max, or phi max, so you have to find out the differential of tangent phi upon d theta, and you have to equate this equal to 0. So when you do this, so you will get the value of theta, that is tangent theta, will be equal to under the root of sigma y upon sigma x. So therefore, the tangent phi max, that is maximum value of this, is equal to sigma y minus sigma x divided by 2 times under the root of sigma x and sigma y. So this is a very important relation which you can prove yourself as a tutorial. So I stop my lecture over here. Thank you for a patient